In 2016, Reliance spent $31 billion building a state-of-the-art telecommunications network, then launched it by giving it away completely free. Welcome to Brand Brains. Today, we're dissecting the psychological warfare, the massive capital investments, and the aggressive ecosystem lock-in that allowed Reliance Jio to conquer India's internet. This chart tracks the immediate shock. The steep downward red line shows prices plummeting to 11 rupees per gigabyte. The massive blue bar shows the result. As access dropped to near zero, the user base exploded to over 700 million. Suddenly, high-speed data reached far beyond affluent urban centers. Street vendors began accepting digital payments. Farmers checked real-time crop prices on apps. Entirely new regional creator economies emerged from rural towns. This launch functioned as a calculated engineering project, pulling an entire nation into a digital-first economy. Executing a disruption of this magnitude required immense capital and deep public credibility. Mukesh Ambani brought both. He led Reliance Industries, a massive conglomerate backed by a 70-year dynastic trust established by his father, Dhirubhai. The catalyst for Jio arrived in 2011. Mukesh's daughter, Isha, visited home from college and complained about the agonizingly slow speed of the family's internet. That single complaint highlighted a glaring infrastructure deficit. Mukesh realized that while legacy companies charged for voice calls, the long-term utility lay in high-speed data for all modern commerce. At the time, the Indian telecom market was a fragmented mess. Dozens of operators fought over a restricted, highly expensive data pool. These incumbents were highly profitable. They milked their legacy 2G and 3G networks, charging a premium for basic voice minutes while ignoring the latent demand for mass mobile internet. The major operators prioritized protecting their voice margins on 2G hardware, creating an opening for a competitor willing to build a modern network from the ground up. For 5 years, Reliance operated in total secrecy. They bypassed upgrading old systems and instead built a greenfield network from scratch, laying 250,000 kilometers of fresh fiber optic cables, optimized exclusively for 4G data. In September 2016, Jio launched with a welcome offer that gave every user free voice calls for life and months of entirely free 4G data. Looking at this funnel, Jio bypassed the normal playbook of slightly undercutting competitors. They focused their entire strategy on a ruthless acquisition funnel, driving raw user volume and immediate activation to establish a habit of high data consumption. The sheer gravity of the offer triggered mass hysteria. Millions of Indians queued outside retail stores. Within 170 days, Jio secured 100 million subscribers, a faster adoption rate than Facebook, WhatsApp, or the iPhone. If you enjoyed deep dives into the strategies that reshape industries, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Brand Brains for weekly business documentaries. Distributing the product for free replaced financial suicide with a calculated psychological strike, forcing mass adoption before competitors could physically react. Jio's underlying objective was to establish a locked-in digital ecosystem. The network was designed to be the primary gateway to every online service a consumer required. They built proprietary apps like Jio Cinema, Jio Saavn, and Jio Mart, creating distinct revenue streams. The blowback on legacy operators was severe. Without the ability to charge for voice or data, average revenue per user plummeted 40% in 2 years. Smaller providers like Reliance Communications and Tata Teleservices went bankrupt or shut down. Industry giants Vodafone and Idea were ultimately forced into a desperate merger just to survive the massive cash bleed. Airtel managed to survive the slaughter only by securing massive outside investments and strategically repositioning itself as the premium, high-quality alternative to Jio's crowded network. By shifting the industry's focus from voice minutes to raw data consumption, Jio effectively ended the viability of traditional telecom revenue streams. Sustaining billions in upfront capital expenditure and years of operating losses required an enormous safety net. Reliance Industries leaned heavily on the massive cash reserves generated by its core oil and petrochemical businesses to fund the telecom assault. As their subscriber base swelled past 400 million, the sheer volume of users created massive scale economies, radically driving down the physical cost of delivering each individual gigabyte. The long-term bet paid off in 2020. Global tech giants, including Meta, Google, and Silver Lake, poured roughly $20 billion into Jio platforms, allowing the company to become completely net debt-free. With the competition thinned out to a tight triopoly of Jio, Airtel, and Vodafone Idea, the era of predatory pricing ended. Since 2020, the remaining operators have consistently raised their data tariffs. The battlefield is no longer about basic price wars. The focus has shifted to 5G dominance, artificial intelligence infrastructure, and complex enterprise computing solutions. The introductory free phase was a calculated, temporary subsidy. It was designed from day one to shatter the old market structure and achieve long-term monopolistic pricing power. The Jio playbook offers a distinct lesson in infrastructure. Building a fresh system optimized for future demand will consistently defeat competitors who are weighed down by the maintenance of legacy technology. This proves the absolute power of market creation. Instead of fighting over a stagnant user base, Jio expanded the total addressable market. By lowering the entry barrier, they proved consumer appetite isn't linear. Make it cheap enough, and you trigger exponential consumption. India's legacy telecoms collapsed because they prioritized short-term margins on old hardware, while Reliance was quietly installing a nationwide fiber backbone. The companies that survive an industry shakeup are the ones that aggressively adapt to changing consumer behavior before the market forces them out. Thank you for watching Brand Brains. Be sure to like and subscribe, and click the video on your screen to see how another legacy industry was toppled.